Hey guys, welcome back to Garage Gossip. Welcome to today's episode. Welcome to the Austin debrief episode. My name is Mara, if you don't know, and I will be your host. Talking about hosts, I'm gonna drop this in immediately. I am thinking about potentially getting a second host to Garage Gossip because I feel that having a podcast on my own, it's so fun. But I think it would be just so much more fun to be able to have a conversation with someone else about Formula One. Because I am a huge fan of the podcast The Fast and the Curious, and they're usually with three hosts. They have been with two for the past couple of episodes, but it's so much more fun, I think, to listen to a podcast hosted by two or three people instead of just one. So if you are thinking right now, maybe this could be fun, maybe this is something for me, there normally should be a Google Forms document linked in the description. So please feel free to fill it in if you think that becoming the second host to Garage Gossip is something for you. With that being said, let's get into today's episode. So yeah, Austin. I literally only have things about Formula One for this episode because we didn't have Formula 2 race this weekend, we didn't have F1 Academy, F3 season is done. We don't have actually, wait, do we have F2 racing in Mexico next week? Like this week? Do we? Or is it Brazil that they're racing next? Wait, I have to look that up because I actually don't know. I know that F1 Academy, their last race, which is the only race left for them, is Las Vegas, which is my birthday weekend, which is the weekend of the 19th of November till the 21st or 22nd. Um, but like that's the only thing that I know for F1 Academy. I'm looking at F2 now. I think they don't race in Mexico. They don't even race in Brazil. What the hell was I talking about? Their next race is Qatar, which is the end of November, which is more than a month away from now. Crazy. I always forget F2 has so little races at the end of the season. Like at the end of the F1 season, F2 has so little races. They have a lot of European races, but not a lot of like races outside of Europe. And I always seem to forget that. But anyway, next up we have Mexico, which is also only like a race for F1. Fun to know. But we do have a lot of like rookie runnings in Mexico. But I will talk about that. Actually, no, I have to talk about that today. And I didn't look into it. Hmm. I actually do have more than I thought for this episode. Let's first start with Austin, and then maybe I'll get back to y'all with like a little part about Mexico. So, I'm just skipping FD1. I'm skipping sprint quali because honestly, no, actually, before I start talking about the actual sessions, let me talk about the times of the sessions. Okay, and this is purely for Stefano Domenicali. Okay, if you are not that man, you can still listen, but this is purely for that man. I don't care about American races, and I do care about European races. Okay, and I know you in your head you think that we, the youth, care about more races in America. We don't. We don't. And you know what the sole reason for that is that we don't? The fact that the times of the sessions are so late. Mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm-mm. No. I can't do it. Okay? I don't care about early races. Australia, China, Japan. I don't care that those races are early. I much prefer an early race, like an early morning race, to a late night race because late night races, not for me, not for me at all. I can't do it. I can't do it. rewatched sprint quali on Saturday morning because I could not stay up Friday evening. Like I tried, and then I think an hour before sprint quali, I was like, I can't do it. I'm just gonna go to bed, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. And then on Saturday, I did watch the sprint race, and then it was quali, and I watched like the first half hour of quali, and then I was like, I'm done. I can't do it anymore. I'll watch the rest in the morning, and I did. And the race as well. I watched the race yesterday because I'm obviously recording this on Monday. I watched the race yesterday evening, but the last, what is it, 15 laps? Don't ask me what happened. Don't ask me. Okay, I know now because I rewatched the highlights, but this morning when I woke up, couldn't tell you. Could not tell you because it's no. And it wasn't even that late. Like the race wasn't that late. The other stuff was pretty late. I mean, at least for me. Maybe I'm just like a grandma in a younger person's body when it comes to my sleeping schedule, which is a likely possibility, but still, I'd much prefer like morning races to late night races. Yeah, I needed to tell you all that, especially Stefano Domenicali. Okay, so think about that maybe if you start saying stuff. Yeah. Anyway, like I said, I'm skipping sprint quali, and I'm immediately going to the sprint race because I think that we have to talk about that one specific thing that we're all thinking about right now, and that is the McLaren double DNF. Yeah, yeah. I'm wearing my McLaren hoodie. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm wearing my McLaren hoodie. It's not because I'm a pro McLaren fan right now. Um, yeah, I'm just. Apparently, Zach Brown has said that it wasn't Nico's fault. Like because we all thought at the first we all thought it was Nico's fault. It wasn't. It wasn't. It was Oscar's fault, and we all know it. And I don't know why the hell when Lando has a little tap with Oscar in Singapore, everybody is mad at Lando for that. Well, it didn't even ruin Oscar's race. Like Oscar still continued to race. He finished fourth, still like decent. Oscar crashes into Lando. They both DNF, which I'm happy that they both DNF'd and that it wasn't only Lando. But Oscar just completely ruined Lando's race there, and nobody is mad at Oscar for doing it. Nobody is mad at Oscar, and I'm just like, guys, what the hell? Like, yeah, I don't know. It's just, that's stuff that I literally cannot wrap my head around. Literally cannot wrap my head around it. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, talking about Lando's like tap with Oscar in Singapore, we know that Lando has repercussions, as they both said, for the next last few races. Want to know what those are? Because apparently we know. I've seen it. I saw this online on social media. Apparently, it's that Oscar gets to choose the order in which Lando and Oscar go on track during quali. So Oscar is the person that makes the decision. Lando goes first, or I go first. Which I don't know if it's that big of a deal. It probably is. But yeah, I mean, mm, they could have done Lando dirtier at McLaren, and I'm happy that they didn't, but they could have. You know what I mean? So yeah, yeah. Then I actually just want to give Carlos Sainz a shout out. His weekend, his Grand Prix, not a DNF'd, but I mean P3 in the sprint race. Like, what on Carlos? Like, we gotta give props to that man for doing that. That's actually also like because he did a pretty good sprint quali. But I mean, he did gain some places in the race. Obviously, thanks to Lando and Oscar crashing into each other, and Hülkenberg also being there, Fernando Alonso also being there. But still, he did it. So well done, Carlos, and also well done, George. Like, picked up the pieces, really, but well done, both of y'all. Then the Grand Prix, honestly, bro, I thought it was such a boring Grand Prix, and I don't know if anybody else like agrees with me on that. But like, okay, we saw some overtakes, and yeah, that's great. But it wasn't the most entertaining Grand Prix we've had all season long. Like, we've had more entertaining Grand Prix than this one. And although I'm very happy with the way it ended, the way it finished, it was a pretty boring Grand Prix. Like, Max P1, Lando P2, Charles P3. I would have preferred a Lewis Hamilton in P3. But, you know, I'll let Ferrari do what they want to do, right? I let Ferrari do what they want to do. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, it was like a pretty boring Grand Prix, if you ask me, because like apart from like the few overtakes we've seen and the Carlos Sainz and Kimi Antonelli contact, and maybe the wow, I forgot his name, Ollie Behrman. That's so bad. That man is literally my favorite driver. He's right there on my wall, and I forgot his name. I I'm sorry. So maybe the like Ollie Behrman Tsunoda battle slash contact thingy. Was that even contact? Yeah, there was contact. Like maybe that, but still, it wasn't that fun. And maybe that's also the reason why I fell asleep. Like I'm not asleep, but like semi asleep during the race. Maybe that's also what like happened there. I don't know. But yeah. Um, but some takeaways from this weekend. First things first, that Red Bull has like it seems that it's more drivable. Like it's become more drivable since that Christian Horner has gone. Since that Christian Horner has left that team, I have a feeling that it's just it's more manageable for both Max and Yuki because Yuki has been scoring not a lot, but like a few points here and there, every once in a while the last couple of races. So like I do feel like it's become more drivable since Laurent Mackie became team principal at Red Bull. And I don't know what that means, honestly. I don't really know what that means. Um, but yeah, I think it's a very big takeaway. Also, the championship is literally like wide open now that Max gained a lot of points this weekend. First things first, he scored 8 points in the sprint race, while both McLarens scored 0. And then he scored 25 points in the Grand Prix, with Lando scoring 18 and Oscar scoring 10. So, yeah, Max is creeping closer. And I'm gonna say this. I much prefer Max to win the championship than Oscar. Because I don't know what happened to that man. Like, he was such a sweet little man. Not anymore. Not anymore. And I don't know if I'm the person to say that, but like, he is not the little sweet Oscar anymore from his first season in F1. And it takes a certain drive, a certain, personality traits to be a Formula One driver. But I don't know what happened to Oscar, bro. I don't know what happened to that man, but he's not the same Oscar as he was his first season. I could tell y'all that. um, Also, shout out to Ferrari for this weekend. Like, the sprint quali, I was a bit scared, honestly. And then we had the sprint race, and we saw quite a lot of pace there. And then we had quali, and I was like, okay, guys. Well, Charles not that much, but Lewis. And then we had the race, and I was like, where's the space coming from? Where did we look to find the space? Because yeah, it's not that the Ferrari is the best car on the grid this season, like we all know that, but it seems that it also has become more manageable for both drivers. Like Lewis is really close to Charles. He was really close to Charles in I think almost all the sessions this weekend. So both Lewis and Charles are both handling the car pretty okay slash pretty well. But yeah, a podium for Charles Leclerc this weekend, a P4 finish for Lewis this weekend is really good compared to the rest of their seasons, I think. So yeah, that's something I think that Ferrari can take away from this weekend, and maybe the next couple of races will be easier for them, and maybe they will have a little bit more pace. The McLaren pace was not really there this weekend, though. I honestly believe that they are focusing on next season's car now because they've won the Constructors' Championship, so they're not really going to be developing their car anymore to score more points because the other teams, I think, are also not really focusing on this year's car development anymore. I mean, how many races do we have left? 6 races, so I don't think any team is really focusing on development for this season's car. But yeah, I feel like Red Bull have developed their car recently to give it more pace. McLaren, they just like don't really care anymore. Won the Constructors' Championship, that's all we needed. I mean, one of our drivers, it would be nice if one of them wins the championship, like the Drivers' Championship, but you know, we're not really focusing on this season anymore. Let's look ahead to next season. So yeah. Talking about McLaren, I can't believe I'm here again because I have been here. We both have been here talking about the McLaren pit stops. Like, what? It's not that the pit stops were that bad this weekend. Like, it's not that they were that bad. Oscar had a decent pit stop. I can't remember what it was. It was like 2.6, 2.5, something like that. 2.3 maybe. Lando at 3.8. And Zach Brown was asked about it, and he was like, "Yeah, we really have to look at that. Like, I don't know what is happening, but we really have to look at that." So I'm at least happy that they're going to have a look at it to see what's wrong, to see what's happening, that's not going right. But yeah, they need to sort their stuff out because I can't do it anymore. I literally can't do it anymore. I'm actually so close to switching favorite teams. I can't do it anymore. Like, Williams is really creeping up to be my favorite team, which I didn't expect to be Williams as my favorite team. Like, I didn't expect it, but they're really slowly creeping up to that B1 spot. Yeah. Is there anything else? I mean, Piastri. We tend to forget about for him question mark. He didn't really have a great weekend. DNF in sprint race. His quali. I don't know what happened there, but like P6? P5? Wait. Max, Lando, Charles, George, Oscar. P5. Right? Was that the order? Or was Lewis there as well? No, Lewis was behind. No, that's not true. Lewis was in front, so P6. Yeah, P6. P5 or P6, whatever. Yeah, not great. And then P5 in the race. Yeah, not his weekend, I think. Yeah, weekend to forget for Piastri. I think that's everything. Now let's look a little bit ahead to Mexico. Okay, we are back. I did some digging. I did some research to Mexico last season. I was looking at some stats from last season. But before we go to Mexico, I was just on Instagram and I saw something, and I'm just flabbergasted about it, honestly. Apparently, one of the Red Bull mechanics tried to re-enter the track during the formation lap to remove Norris's grid tape before the Grand Prix. They all like obviously they have their like box, but like when they're in their cars, they can't fully see the box on the ground. So they put a little bit of tape on the sides on the wall. And so Lando did that, and it's fully legal to do that. But apparently, one of the Red Bull mechanics tried to remove Lando's tape, and Red Bull has now been fined for that, obviously, because that's just pure sabotage. I'm just so flabbergasted that one of Red Bull's employees would even try and do that. Yeah, I have no words. I have no words. I needed to put that in this episode because I'm actually yeah. Yeah, I feel like the lack of wording that I have for this really shows how flabbergasted I am about this. Like I really can't believe it. That's insane. That's insane. Anyway, on to Mexico. So I have now found out that there's two rookie runnings already confirmed to be happening in Mexico. I know that Haas did a rookie running session in Mexico as well in 2023, or was it 2024? I don't know, but they usually prefer to do it in Mexico as well. Um, and I think they still need to do a lot actually because Ollie's don't count because he at the start of the season he wasn't a rookie, so Ollie's free practice sessions didn't count because obviously the teams that started the season with a rookie, an actual rookie, because Ollie didn't count as a rookie. Liam Lawson also doesn't count. Frank Colapinto doesn't count. Um, they obviously have two rookie running sessions less to do than everybody else. So, for example, Mercedes, they have George Russell driving and they have Kimi Antonelli driving. Kimi, at the start of the season, was an actual rookie, and so his first free practice FP1 sessions, so that's Australia and Bahrain, they both counted for a rookie running session. And then they only had to do George's sessions, which I think they have done one, but I'm not certain about that. But anyway, there's two teams that have already confirmed to do rookie running sessions in Mexico, and the first one is Williams, and they will have Luke Browning driving for them again, which I'm very happy about because I love Luke. He's I think my favorite driver in F2 for this season. But it's like a close second is Dino Bogdanovic, but Luke's still my favorite. And the second team is Aston Martin, and they will have Jack Crawford driving for them. So yeah, now you know that. I think we can be on the lookout for more announcements possibly coming about possible rookie running sessions in Mexico. Actually, let me get my journal because then I know how many teams, like what teams need to do how many rookie running sessions. Be right back. Okay, we got the handy dandy journal. See, I knew it's easy to write stuff like this down because I love myself a rookie running session. Like I love them. So Alpine have done two rookie running sessions, both in Franco's car, so they need to do two more, which they will not do a rookie running session in Qatar, nor will they do a rookie running session in Brazil because both of those are sprint races, so they obviously can't do rookie running sessions there. So it's either Mexico, Las Vegas, or Abu Dhabi, which I think they might do one in Abu Dhabi, and they will possibly also do one in. That's not possible. Hasn't Paul already done a rookie running session for? I feel like Paul has already done a rookie running session for Alpine. Oh, he hasn't. He's only done some for Sauber. That's interesting. But they will probably put Paul Aaron as their like rookie runnings driver for Gasly's car. Then let me look. 1, 2. Williams have done 2 already. 1 in Carlos's car and then 1 in Alex's car. So they will do another one in Mexico. And then I think they will also prefer to do their last one in Abu Dhabi. So it depends on whose car will be driven in this weekend for then Abu Dhabi. Then we have Ferrari. And they have only done 1. No, that's not true. They have done 2. They have both been driven in Charles's car. So next to the last 2 need to be driven in Lewis's car because none have been driven in his car, which I think they will also go for Mexico and Abu Dhabi. Moving on to Aston Martin. So Aston Martin, they have 1 in Mexico then, so we can count that. And then they also have done 2 other ones, both in Alonso's car. I was thinking about that number there. I always confuse their numbers. 18 and 14, I'm always confusing them, to be honest. So they've both been done in Alonso's car, so Jack will drive in Alonso's car this weekend, and they will probably also do their last one in Abu Dhabi. I think a lot of teams will do 1 in Abu Dhabi and Mexico. Moving on to Haas. They have done 2 as well. 1 in Ollie's car and 1 in Esteban's car. So they will probably do another one in Mexico and Abu Dhabi. Yeah. Moving on to Red Bull. Red Bull have done 1, 2 as well. So same for them. Will probably be driven in Mexico and Abu Dhabi. 1 has been driven in Max's car and the other one in Yuki's car. So both cars need to be driven by a rookie again before the end of the season. Then we have McLaren, and they've only done 1. Is that really true? According to my log, they've only done 1 rookie running session, which means that they're gonna have to do 1 in Mexico, Las Vegas, and Abu Dhabi, because yeah, that's the only possibilities that they still have. Which that would be insane, but it's a possibility. And I mean, you have to do them. They're mandatory, so you have to do them. So, okay. Interesting. Sauber have done 4, so they don't need to do anything else. Then we have Racing Bulls. They have also done 2, obviously with Isaac Hadja. So they need to do 2 more. Am I missing a team? It's not possible that I'm missing a team, right? If I am, no, it's not possible because there's only 3 more Grand Prix where you can do a rookie running session, and you need to do 4 in a season. So that's that about rookie running session. Now you know. If y'all want a reminder on who won last season, like the ranking, like the podium last season, it was Charles Leclerc in P3, Lando in P2, and Carlos Sainz in P1. Which gives me the vibes that it might be a good circuit for Ferrari, because obviously the last season we had 2 Ferraris on the podium. So I'm not getting my hopes up, but I would literally die for a Hamilton podium. I would die for a Hamilton podium. So yeah, and I also just want to remind y'all, Mexico is like a contact circuit. Like we have so much contact on that circuit. I don't know why, because I don't think it's that difficult of a track, but we have so much contact on that circuit, which does make for an interesting Grand Prix. That's all I'm saying. And with that being said, we've come to the end of this episode. Again, a reminder for y'all, if you watch/listen to this episode and you're like, I would actually really love to be a co-host on this podcast, the link to the Google Forms is in the description, so please feel free to fill it in. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode. You on YouTube, you will see me again next week, and you on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you are listening to this right now, you will hear me again next week. Bye!